Well, these so-called Syria files that are currently being published on WikiLeaks consist of something like 2.5 million emails from Syrian political insiders. I've touched on the sort of subject matter, but what do you think this information could reveal, and will this leak have any real and timely impact?
Well, it's very useful to see WikiLeaks getting back and focusing on its real mission, and that's about opening up governments and actually really revealing useful information. So again, we'll have to see what this brings. Unfortunately, the ongoing case and the embassy standoff is continuing to actually take focus away from the work of the whistleblowing organisation, and actually I think at the moment is making it increasingly difficult.
Let's talk about that embassy standoff. There he goes to Quito, a call for help from the Latin American country. He says that, of course, he's asking for help from a country that is actually now under question about its own media freedom. Do you think in some ways he's compromising his position there by going to Quito, to Ecuador?
Well, it's been very much the concern. It's interesting to see that we are still very much coming back to kind of square one in this embassy standoff now, because there has been the ongoing diplomatic spat between Ecuador and the United Kingdom, particularly about the message that the UK authorities sent about the 1980s law, which actually gives UK authorities powers to enter embassies under certain circumstances. And this was kind of very much interpreted as a threat. But now there seems to be rowing back from this situation. Now William Hague, the foreign minister, has said that there is no plan to storm the embassy, but equally that the UK is still under obligation to arrest Julian Assange. So we're still seeing this. I'm seeing these two things that are kind of cancelling each other out right now.
You were saying at the very start of this that this embassy standoff is all a distraction, and that this latest revelation that he's going to reveal, or WikiLeaks is going to reveal something like 2.5 million emails concerning Syria, gets back to the roots of what WikiLeaks is all about. Now, he also said in his latest interview that the organisation is resisting the transformation of the developed world into a transnational surveillance state. Now, is there any truth to this? And if so, what can WikiLeaks do to stop it?
Well, some of the recent revelations coming through WikiLeaks have been about the trapwire surveillance system, which is actually very significant implications. Also here in the United Kingdom, the trouble is that at the moment it's very difficult to get this message out while the current standoff continues. But yes, there are widespread concerns, which we in the Pirate Party have been also articulating for some time now. Here in the United Kingdom, we're under threat of a major new bill, which actually is threatening to track how we send emails, web contacts, and telephone messages to one another.
In effect, can I just ask you, you're doing what WikiLeaks has been doing with Assange, the Pirate Party in some ways taking on that role. Do you think WikiLeaks can survive without Assange now, or will we see organisations like yourself taking its place?
Well, we've been very much saying all along it's actually vital that we separate out the personalities from the actual mission. And I think it would be really helpful if for example, the WikiLeaks through its social media output has been running some quite personal attacks right now, which are actually very unhelpful and undermine its credibility as a news organisation, which it's always kind of said that it is. But that's to say that must not distract from the ongoing fight for us to have a greater transparency and greater powers of freedom of information. That's necessary here in the UK, but right across the world.
Loz Kay, leader of Pirate Party UK, thank you very much indeed for talking to me live from Manchester.